Hey folks, I'm Alex Story with Skill Mammoth Digital, and today is day 8 of me building my agency in public. Today's title is Working the Weekend While My Family's in the Pool. So for those of you who don't know what this is, basically every single day I show you the behind the scenes on how I'm building Skill Mammoth Digital, what I'm doing, and every single day I answer these 4 questions. First one is what did I make in the last 30 days, my revenue. 2 is how am I getting more of it, what's the sales motion that we're doing. 3, what am I doing to keep it? How are we kind of fulfilling on the tasks that we owe our customers? And then what are we doing to fix everything inside? What's the strategy we're doing as a business to continue to grow and fulfill at the pace that we want to do? So number one, the revenue I made in the last 3 days is $33,465. Still climbing. Last night we had a late night deal with a Pilates company, which is pretty exciting. My first client in kind of the fitness space. I have some clients in like the medical space, but this could be a good vertical, if we convert, more folks in the gym space, right? It's good to have that case study. If I do well, obviously. And then I had one $450 sale for a client that's buying a local service ad management. So it's $450 a month that we're doing that for him. What are we doing to get more of it, right? So no new bookings today. Obviously, it's Saturday. I don't do a lot of calling or outbound on Saturday, and I have my meetings turned off. This is mostly for fulfillment and strategy, typically on Saturday and Sunday. So instead of chasing meetings, I'm rebuilding the machines that book them. So first off, I think I'm going to spin up LinkedIn before Monday hits. I used Dripify in the past, like a sequencer, basically that does like the connect requests, then does a little bit of automation to like view the profile, like the profile and whatnot, to get people to accept the connection request, and then once they accept, sends them a DM. It's a little bit slower because you can't really scale it. You can only send maybe 10 connect requests per day, but far higher open rate and built-in trust. And bare minimum with the automated connections, it does increase my follower count which has some very marginal, people see followers and they think clout, right? Email, right? So, I bought 10 more inboxes and I'm running placement tests because I feel like I'm only getting like a 1% reply rate, and my positive reply rate is really bad. Like maybe 10% of those are positive. And I think that could be potentially a deliverability issue. I think I'm overperforming maybe on replies, and then I'm not really getting into the inbox. This inbox placement test will help me, and the buying more inboxes just helps me with the infrastructure if I need to swap domains out. With my copy, I'm also just doing a full rewrite, real personalization. I want to find a pattern interrupt. My copy in the past has been too generic, and I think it's just not standing out. This is all conjecture, right? Because I don't know how my deliverability is. If the deliverability is fine, then I know the copy's bad. But either way, I'm still going to improve the copy either way. And then what's already in the pipe, we have a $3,000 proposal out. That's a staffing agency that's taking their time. Lots of decision makers, but I think they're going to buy Monday, Tuesday, because they keep on saying they will. 80% sure it closes, 20% they go with somebody else out of the blue. And lastly, I do want to talk about this account that I got on Monday. So I have this client that is currently with HIBU, which is like a really big agency that has thousands of contractor websites. And, the kind of website as a service, rent to own, cheap enough, like I would say sub 500 a month for their services. But they have hundreds, if not thousands, of contractor clients, which is my exactly client base. And I've had a couple people move from like Town Square Interactive, which is like another big place. But having a case study of somebody moving from HIBU over to Skill Mammoth and having a really good time would be awesome, because then I can point to that case study and then I can target HIBU people, which is really easy in the website agency space because I can literally look at the HTML on these websites, look for like the footer. Usually there's like a built by or designed by footer, and then I can just target those people using cold outbound and say, hey, you don't like your agency, no one likes it, we can do better, something like that, right? So it's a little bit of a cold shot, but we'll see what happens. Third, let's talk about fulfillment, right? So I'm just building websites and automation all weekend. It's one of those things just has to happen, especially with a good week of sales. If I don't get ahead of fulfillment, then it's just going to crush me because during the work week, my day's blocked by sales calls and strategy calls with clients. I know this is the part that they don't tell you. Obviously, all the business owners, all the gurus, and all that. When you reach a modicum of success, I don't think I'm successful per se. I had a good month. Normally I'm at 13 to 15K, but I had a good month. But the problem is, I'm just not with my family right now. They're in the pool right now. I'm at my mother-in-law's house, and I'm just sitting here on the couch working on my laptop while they're having fun. So I don't talk about that, enough. And hopefully, I can get to the point where my family's winning this kind of tug of war more often than not. But I got to grow the business. I got to support them. I got to keep food on the table. But anyway, that's how it is. So I've been thinking about something about this as well. Especially with some of the add-ons with like the way Cowork has dispatch and all this kind of stuff. I've been thinking about a way to build like an agent, just take an old MacBook that I have and just throw like a cloud agent on it and just have it do work for me, like fulfillment work for me. Just at least like the quick task, easy tasks, like client requests to like change a page or whatnot. That might help me in the long run, but the problem is it's just going to take me longer to do the planning and building of that particular series of workflows, like building this minion versus just doing the work, right? I could get all the work done in like an hour or two versus just building this thing that, would probably take me 10 hours, but at least in the future, all my fulfillment would be solved. So I just got to find a time where it's worth it, right? Building it is fun and shiny, but it's just not worth the time, when you're time constrained. Anyway, I'm just yapping. If you like if you like this video, like it. Obviously, in the comments, post what you're doing. If you want to go through those 4 questions yourself, feel free to do it. But anyway, that's me. Bye for now.